It started in the Senate chamber, under the blazing lights and the hum of cameras rolling. The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. Everyone knew something was about to happen, something big. Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana, known for his folksy charm and razor-sharp wit, was about to go head-to-head with Senator Bernie Sanders in a debate that had already drawn national attention. The topic? The economy, but beneath that, it was about two very different visions for America. Bernie, fiery as ever, leaned into the microphone, his hands cutting through the air with the urgency of a man trying to fix a broken world. The problem, Senator Kennedy, he said, voice rising with conviction, is that the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer, and billionaires are hoarding wealth while the middle class is collapsing. We need to tax them, redistribute the wealth, and give every American a fair shot. The chamber buzzed. Reporters scribbled. Cameras zoomed in. John Kennedy leaned back in his chair, calm as a summer lake. Then, slowly, he leaned forward, removing his glasses and setting them on the table. Well, Senator Sanders, he began in that unmistakable Louisiana drawl, I've listened to you talk about the rich like they're some kind of contagious disease for years now. But every time I hear you speak, I get the feeling that you don't just dislike capitalism, you downright hate it. A ripple of laughter spread through the audience. Bernie's jaw tightened, but Kennedy wasn't done. You say the rich are getting richer, Kennedy continued, and that's true in some cases. But do you know why, Senator? Because they work, they risk, they build. They fail, they start again. You want to take their success and hand it out like candy at Halloween. But the problem with socialism, he paused, eyes narrowing, is that you eventually run out of other people's money. The room erupted in murmurs and gasps. Even some of Bernie's usual supporters looked uneasy. Kennedy had just struck a chord, not with malice, but with truth. Bernie tried to recover. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we need fairness. Kennedy raised a hand. Fairness, Senator, is giving everyone an equal shot, not an equal result. Life ain't a math problem. Some people study harder, work longer, think bigger. You can't fix that with government handouts. You fix that with freedom, freedom to dream, to fail, and to try again. The silence that followed was heavy, almost reverent. For a brief moment, even Bernie seemed to pause, as if realizing that Kennedy's words, though sharp, came from a place of sincerity. But what happened next turned a fiery debate into a legendary moment. Kennedy leaned closer to the mic, his tone softening. Senator Sanders, I grew up poor. I know what it's like to have holes in your shoes and worry about your next meal. But I didn't envy the folks who had more. I learned from them. I worked my tail off to make something of mice.